Hi there, welcome to Solvebeta summer coaching series, and this is for JS1. The last topic we looked at in JS1, we looked at LCM and HCF. Don't forget LCM and HCF. It's very going to be useful in this word topic. LCM simply means lowest common multiple or least common multiple, while HCF means highest common multiple, or like I would like to put it, greater common factor. HCF is the highest common factor. Sorry, I said highest common multiple. Highest common factor, but I would like to put it greatest common factor. And I said why in the last class. So fractions for JS1. First, what is a fraction? A fraction is expressed in this way. If you have this, if you have a number that is expressed in this way, this is a fraction. When you have an expression such that you have a number above, then there's a division symbol divided by another number, and it's left like this. This is a word fraction. This is a word fraction. P could be 10. It could be any number. It could be any number. It could be 10. It could be -1 all over. Q could be any number 2, 3, 5. So are you saying that that's a word fraction? That's a word fraction. Take note, very important. That's a word fraction. And we also call them rational numbers. We call them what? Rational what? Numbers. Fraction, or it can be called a rational number. Rational what? Number. Rational what? Number. That's what we call rational number. The idea of fraction comes from the word ration. Ration. If you have this, let's say you have this, and let's divide it into 3. Let me shade this part. The shaded part is 1 out of what? 3. 1 out of 1, 2, 3. If I go on to shade this part, just like the Nigerian flag, green, white, green, the shaded part now becomes 2 out of what? 3. So this 2 is a fraction of the 3 of these rectangles. 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. Or if I have a piece of bread, a loaf of bread, and I divide it into 2. If I divide it into 2, I would have divided it into half. This is half of it, and this is another what? Half. When we add both together, we get what? The whole piece of bread. 1. So this is 1 out of 2, and this is 1 out of what? 2. So that's the concept behind what? Fractions. That's the concept behind what? Fractions. Fractions. I hope you understand that. Now there are 3 types of fractions. You have your proper fraction, improper fraction, then your mixed fraction, or what is called mixed number. Mixed fraction or mixed number. Mixed fraction or mixed what? Number. So what is a proper fraction? A proper fraction is a fraction that the numerator is less than the denominator. P is less than Q. P is less than what? Q. The number above is less than the number below. I'm using P to represent any number above, and I'm using Q to represent any number below. The number above is less than the number below. The numerator is less than the denominator. Okay? I don't think I said this, but a fraction is divided into numerator and what? Denominator. Numerator and what? Denominator. Forgive me for not saying it earlier. Numerator and denominator. A fraction is divided into numerator and denominator. Numerator and denominator. So when the numerator is less than the denominator, we say it is a proper fraction. It's a proper what? Fraction. Proper what? Fraction. Proper what? Fraction. Because 1 can be carried by 2. 1 is less than 2, it can be carried by what? 2. But when it is the opposite, when the denominator is the one lesser, or when the numerator is greater than, when P is greater than Q, when this is greater than this, then becomes an improper fraction. When the one above is greater, is bigger than the one below. Proper, the one above is smaller, so it can be carried than the one below. But improper, the one above is greater, and this second one, the one below, is struggling to carry it. So that's what you call improper fraction. Improper, above, greater, below, lesser. Proper, above, lesser, below what? Greater. Please take note of that. So that is an improper fraction. Then you have your mixed number, like I will call it, or mixed fraction. I prefer to call it mixed number. Mixed number comprises of a whole number and a fraction, and the fraction is always a proper fraction. A mixed number comprises, you can write this down, a mixed number is made up of, that's the word, a mixed number is made up of a whole number. We've looked at whole number, a whole number, then a proper fraction, proper what? Fraction. A whole number and proper what? Fraction. A whole number and proper what? Fraction. A whole number and proper what? Fraction. So you should be able to differentiate between the 3 types of fraction today. A proper fraction, numerator less than denominator. This one is less than this one. Improper, this one is greater than this one. Why mixed fraction? You have a whole number and a proper what? Fraction. It's very, very what? Important. It's very, very what? Important. Very, very what? Important. Very, very what? Important. So did you get that? Let me introduce the concept of ratios. Yeah. Ratios behave, or ratios can be considered or can be expressed as fraction. This is the symbol for ratio here. This is 2:3. 2:what? When you have 2:3. We can write 2:3 as 2/3. We can write it as 2/3. You can say ratio can be expressed as what? Fraction. Please take it, because we will go there. 2:3. 2:3 is the same thing, or can be written as 2/3. Please take note of that. Now we're going to look at addition and subtraction of fraction today. Addition and subtraction of fractions today. Addition and subtraction of fractions. Addition and subtraction of fractions. Addition and subtraction of fraction. How do we add and subtract fraction? It's very, very easy. Move from the simple to the complex. Addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction. Move from the simple to the word complex. So quickly, how do we add this fraction? It's very, very easy to add this fraction. Now looking at it, to add this fraction, this is what you do. I'm not going to teach you a hack. I'll teach you how to do it direct. I'm not teaching you a hack. Now, how do you add this fraction? This same thing as half plus half. You can add it visually, or using pictures. You can create a visual of this. This is half of it. We have something. You have a loaf of bread. This is half, and this is another half. If I take this half and I take this half and add it together, I will get 1. If I add this half to this half, I will get what? 1 of it. You can add it visually. Okay. Let's say I have a loaf of bread. I divide it into 2. I take half. I give it to your brother, and I take another half and I give it to you. Then all of a sudden you say, we don't want to. My mommy said we should not collect things from people we don't know. I collect that half back from you. I collect it from your brother. If I put it together, I now have what? The initial 1 loaf of bread I divided into 2. So half plus half is what? 1. So now let's see it mathematically. To anytime you have a fraction plus another fraction, you will find the LCM of the denominator. The LCM of the denominator. And when you have both numbers to be equal, their LCM is always the same number. Remember I told you to find LCM. What are the multiples of 2? You have 2, 4, 6, 8. The multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. What is the LCM? The lowest common multiple here is 2 and 2. This is a common multiple. 2. In fact, because it's the same number, they have the same multiples. All the multiples are common, but the lowest of it is 2. I don't know if you get that. Remember how I taught you to find LCM of numbers. You write down their multiple, you look for the one that is common. Now because it's 2 and 2, all the multiples are common. So anytime you ask to add a fraction and the denominators are the same, just pick one as the LCM. Pick one as the LCM. So you have what 2. Then you do this. Please take note, after picking one as the LCM, you do this. You say 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 times 1 is what? 1. 2 divided by this 2. This 2 will divide this to 1. 1 times this 1 is what? 1. Remember you're adding. So you have 1 plus 1, which is 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is what? 1. Or you must have been taught this way, which is the easier way to do it. Because you have the same number, you have 2, then you add the number above. Because it's the same, the denominators are the same, add the number above. 1 plus 1. 2 over 2, which is what? 1. Yes, it's the same thing we've done. But the reason why I prefer to go to this route is because what if you don't have the same number? You will know why you are doing what you've done. So that's how to do it. If this suits you, you pick 2 and 2, pick one out of it because you have the same denominator, they add both numerators together. That's good. Now let's go to another 1 over 3 plus 1 over 2. Or I believe I can leave this example. Now look at this one. Different denominators. Because you have different denominators, you have to find the LCM of this and this. I remember teaching a student with arc and it did not go well. So 3 and 2, what's the LCM of 3 and 2? Now let's write the multiples of 2. 2, what are the multiples of 2? 2, 4, 6, 8. The multiples of 3. Multiple of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. So what is the common multiple here? 6 is common. In fact, the first common multiple is the least common multiple, that's 6. So the LCM is what? 6. The other common multiples, but the least of them is 6, which is the first common multiple is 6. So 6 is the least common multiple of 2 and 3. That's the LCM. The LCM of 3 and 2 is what? 6. So you say 6 divided by this 3 is what? 2. 2 times 1 is what? 2 plus 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is what? 3. 3 times 1 is what? 3. First, what did I do first? 6 divided by 3, 2. 2 times 1 is what? 2. I got this 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 1 is what? 3. So that's how it. Since I'm adding that, so I have what? 5 over what? 6. So that's it. 5 over what? 6. That's what was done. You see that LCM, knowledge of the LCM is very, very important when dealing with fractions. So now let's take it higher up. Let's take it higher up. Two over 3 minus 1 over 7. 2 over 3 minus 1 over 7. This subtraction. LCM of 3 and 7. So let's go. 3. Let me start with bigger number. 7, 14. First multiple, second, we'll just be adding 7, 14, 21, 28. Let me stop here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm just adding 3, 18, 9, 21. I think I've got to 21 here. 21 is here, 21 is here. So this is the multiple that is common, the first one, which is the least, 21. 21. So it's 21 is the LCM. So you have 21 here. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 21 divided by 3 is what? 7. 7 times 2, 14. 21 divided by 7 is what? 3. 3 times 1, 3. Don't forget minus here, because we are subtracting minus what? 3. Minus what? 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 7 times 2, 14. 21 divided by 7, 3. 3 times 1, 3. Remember, we're subtracting. So that would then be 14 minus, what's 14 minus 3? 14 minus 3 is what? 11, right? 11 over what? 21. So that is the solution to this. That's the solution to what? This. Now let's take this. What if we have this? What if you have this? What if we have this? How do we do this? Now, don't be afraid. We have to look for LCM of 4, 3, and 4. I think I missed something out. 4, 8, 12, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 25, 20, 24 rather, 28, 32, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 24, 24, 27, 30, 730. Let me write it this way. Now, if you are struggling, or if you discover that the LCM of the three numbers is outside or is giving you issue, using that my formula, using that my method rather to get the LCM, just like this, I can easily get the LCM. I know it, I can get it. But if it's taking time, just multiply these 3. Just multiply these 3. If it's taking time to get the LCM, just multiply these 3. I've seen the LCM, I can get the LCM, but it's going to be too long for you because of the class you're in. So you can multiply these 3. So 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 5 is 60. So you can say 60 is the least common multiple. You can use that as the least common multiple, the LCM. You can use that. It does not always mean that that's the LCM, but you can use that. 60 divided by 4, that should be 15. 15 times 1 is what? 15. Plus 60 divided by 3, 20. 20 times 2, 40. Minus 60 divided by 5, 12. 12 times 1, 12. So if we go ahead, 15 plus 40, that's 55. 55 minus 12, that should be 43. 43. So you have 43 over 60. Now, if you do this that you just done, you use the multiplication of this thing, check if you can reduce this to the lowest term. Always check if it's possible for you to reduce this to the lowest term. What does it mean to reduce to the lowest term? Is there anything that can divide 43 that can divide 60? You check. There's nothing that can divide 43 that can divide 60. Why? Because 43 is a special kind of number which we will look at later. So this is our answer. So for examples, now let's introduce mixed number into the picture. This is example 5. I'm sure you have written this. Let's introduce mixed number. Example 5. What if you have something like this? 2.5, example 5, minus 1 number 1 over 3. If you have something like this, let me make this 6 and 4. Let me introduce something totally different. If you have something like this, as an example, when you have a mixed number, the first thing to do is to convert that mixed number to another type of fraction, which is called improper fraction. You have to convert it. That's the easiest way to do it. You can do it another way, you can solve this another way, but I would advise that you first convert. If I prefer this, we convert this to an improper fraction. How do you convert it? This is what you do. 1 over 4. 4 times 2 is what? 8. 8 plus 1 what? 9. 9 over 4. That's how to convert it. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 1, 9. Now, in case you have issues with converting, I'm going to teach that in the basic 5 and 6 class. You can go there. I'm going to teach conversion from mixed number to improper fraction. I'm going to teach that. Then I'm also going to teach reducing to the lowest, how to reduce fraction to the lowest term. I'm going to teach that in basic 5 and 6. So you can go back there, pause, go back there and watch this. So go back to this. 4 times 2, 8, 8 plus 1, 9. Multiplication, addition. Multiplication, your answer you would add. 4 times 2, 8, 8 plus 1, 9. So you have 9 over 4 minus, now let's go to this one. 1 over 1 over 6. Multiplication, addition. Multiplication, addition. So multiply 6 by 1, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. 7 over what? 6. So from this we can now continue. Let's find the LCM of 4 and 6. LCM of 4 and 6. I think this should be easy. 4, 8, plus 4, 12. 16 plus 4, 20 plus 24, 28, 32. Let me stop here. 6, 12, 18. Is there 18 here? No. 18 plus 4, 18 plus 6 rather. 24. I'm adding 6. Have I got to 24 years? Yes. So this is the LCM 24. 24. LCM is 24. Is that really the LCM? No. That's not the LCM. Check. There's something lower than that. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. 4, 8, 16, 12, 16, 24, 28. Then you have 6, 12. 12 is the LCM. There's 12 here. 6, 18, 24. There's 12 before 24. So the lowest common multiple is 12, not 24. Although if I use 24, if you use any common multiple, you still get your answer. But it's just that you would have a term, you would have a fraction that you need to reduce to the lowest term. So always go for the lowest common multiple, the LCM. So the LCM is 12. I quickly spotted that. So you have 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 9 is 27. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2 times 7, 14 minus 14. So 27 minus 14, that should be 13. 13 over 12. Is it 13? Yeah, 13 over 12. Which is what? These are the proper fractions. So you should not always leave your answer as a proper fraction. You always reduce. So if you reduce it, you have 1 over 1 over 12. So the answer is 1 over 1 over what? 12. How do I get 1 over 1 over 12? 13 divided by 12 is 1. Remember 1. You know, when you divide 13 by 12, you have 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Divided by 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is 1. Remember this 1. Remember 1 over this denominator here. So that is it. That is it. So that's how to do that. So quickly try this. Last work. Try this. And fifth. This is 8, please. This is 8, sorry. So try this 5, try this 5, and let me know your answer in the comment section, or don't put it in the comment. When we meet, you can tell me your answer. But if you have a question, if you have something you're not clear about, when we have our one-on-one session, please ask. Then you can like, share and comment under this video. Thank you.